Welcome to the Conservative College Show. If you're new here, my name is Derek Smith, and this is the place where we react and dissect to past and present political and religious content from the perspective of a college student. Again, welcome to the Conservative College Show. The reason that I prefaced in the intro past and present political and religious content is because today what we're going to be reacting to is going to be pertaining to the 2016 election, in which the first video we will be reacting to is going to be a video titled, "Where Will Celebrities Move If Trump Wins the 2016 Election?" Again, let's get into the first video.
If Donald Trump wins the presidency, a pig will fly out of my butthole because it will be a nightmare.
I have a house in Spain that is going to be ready right after the election.
Panama,
Siberia.
Nova Scotia. I'm definitely moving to Canada.
Straight to hell.
Iceland.
France.
Asia's pretty cool.
Like a mental hospital for a while because you're like, why is this happening?
I'm moving back to the Republic of Brooklyn, New York.
I've always wanted to live in Italy, so I feel like that might be a good time.
I will run down the street naked in Mexico. No, I'm kidding.
Who's Trump?
The tan, brother, you're orange.
I would move to the Caribbean.
The Bahamas?
Start a jet ski rental business.
Hawaii?
We can't have an orange president.
Maybe it's just a way to be closer to Obama.
I would be very concerned for America if Donald Trump won.
I'll stay in America.
I'd stay here and fight the good fight.
I couldn't give up on where I live.
I'd probably stay here, just purely out of like the laziness of not wanting to move.
Wow, so the first thing that I want to discuss about this video is this was 8 years ago for the 2016 election. So something that we have seen and that we know is that not a single celebrity in this video that said that they were going to move actually moved. So that's the first thing. And there were a lot of weird answers, like the one answer that was kind of weird to me was the Hawaii answer because to be closer to Obama. I mean, that's kind of a weird thing to say. And then the other, few topics that I want to say is the guy who, I don't know his name, but the celebrity who was talking about Trump's tan. First off, kind of weird to say you don't want someone as a president because of the tan that they have or the way they look, not because of the actual job that they can do. So doesn't really make sense. And now that we've had Trump as a president, and this is 24, now that he's been elected again, we're excited to see what he's going to do. But not only that guy, there was also the woman towards the end of the video who said that she would stay here and fight the good fight. I'm actually going to cut to that so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is the what I'm talking about right here.
Stay in America.
I'd stay here and fight the good fight.
I couldn't.
So my number one question is, what is the good fight? What does that mean, right? So if you're talking about the good fight being the liberal leftist agenda and ideologies, then that doesn't really make sense because technically for people who are moderate, there is no good side, there is no good fight. And the second thing I have to say about that is these are all celebrities. These are all people who make money off of Americans, who purchase their films and who put money to, see this type of thing, to see the films. And a lot of these people are on SNL. I'm not sure who the woman was that actually said this, but it doesn't really make sense to say that you're going to stay here and fight the good fight. No, the only reason that you're staying in the country when Trump won was due to the fact that you needed income and you needed money. The one comment that I really did like was that of John Krasinski. He also played he was in The Office and was in A Quiet Place, I'm pretty sure. But he basically said that he's going to stay in America. Like, he doesn't see a reason for leaving the country if someone who is a presidential candidate is elected, right? We haven't really seen, and this is before we knew anything about Trump. So maybe he's changed his mind since then. Maybe if they asked him now, he would say something opposite. But this was pre-Trump term and Trump presidency. I really like that answer. The other answer that I want to talk about is that of Nick Kroll, with the sarcasm of him basically saying, I'm not moving because I'm just too lazy to move. No, you're not moving because just like the girl that said, I'm going to stay here and fight the good fight, you also need an income. No matter how much money you have, you're not going to live very long without the income that you're making now, just based off the lifestyle. The next video we are going to be reacting to and dissecting is going to be a video posted by ABC News. And it's basically the 2016 election, and it's going to be the reaction of a few talk show hosts. Includes Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, and Conan O'Brien. Let's go and take a look.
How about more humor to help with any of that post-election stress? Here you go.
I had the weirdest dream last night. Remember that guy who used to host The Apprentice? I dreamed we elected him president.
The big story is that America woke up this morning and was like,
Did I do that?
If this morning you finally woke up from a coma, well, you might want to go back.
What we did was the Democratic equivalent of installing an above-ground pool. Even if we're lucky and it doesn't seep into our foundations, the neighbors will never look at us the same way again.
We put our 8-month-old son to bed, and I was holding him, and I said to him, when you wake up tomorrow morning, we might have our first female president. And then when we came home around midnight, I went into his room, shook his crib until he woke up, and screamed, "We have to get out of here!"
I watched news coverage all night last night, and it was especially interesting to watch the change in tone as the night progressed. They started out upbeat, but as the evening went on and the results came in, every anchor looked like a child slowly realizing that no one was showing up to his birthday party.
Now, today, Americans have the right to feel happy, angry, pessimistic, optimistic, but everybody should feel grateful that we get to vote, and if we don't get our way, we have the chance to try again. It is a beautiful thing.
So the first thing I want to say after watching that is basically I don't understand why talk show hosts pull in politics to their show. And the reason I say that is because I don't believe that a single talk show host actually cared about Kamala Harris or actually cared about Hillary Clinton. All it is it's a way to get an agenda into the media. Right? It's a way to influence viewers to vote for a certain side and has nothing to do at all with the specific politics and ideologies of either party. So for Samantha Bee, in case who I've never heard of until I watched this video, for her to say that voting in Trump and for Trump to be voted in is like the Democratic version of putting up an above ground pool because, number one, if it doesn't seep into the foundations and cause damage that way, then the neighbors will never forgive you for putting it up. Well, a lot of which, I mean, now that we're in 24, we know this is obviously incorrect information due to the fact that Trump not only did seep into the foundation, and we see that a lot of what he did led into the Biden administration and was held throughout the Biden administration, and we're going to see it continue to now into the new 25 Trump administration, right? So, such as tariffs. Trump placed tariffs when he was in office in his first term, and Biden kept a lot of those tariffs. Okay, of course, some of them he did not keep due to, he's a Democrat, he's a liberal, so he's not going to keep everything Trump does. And that's just obvious, and we've seen that in the past. But he kept tariffs in, and he even added his own, right? So that's just one thing. And then the other thing is her saying that the neighbors are never going to forgive you because basically it's an eyesore or it's going to cause damage to them as well. Not necessarily, right? Neighboring countries and countries that we've had talks with during Trump's, term was amazing. Trump did not, I wouldn't say he had an alliance, but Trump definitely had mitigation with countries that in the past we did not, such as North Korea and Russia. And they respected Trump for the way he was handling foreign affairs. So for her to say that, and obviously at the time, this is before we actually had seen any of what Trump had done, for her to say that just really doesn't make a lot of sense. The other thing I want to talk about within this video is another reason I don't really see why talk show hosts talk about politics is because it's not affecting their lifestyle and their salary. I mean, for example, Jimmy Kimmel, who was complaining in this video, in the year 2016, he made $12 million. From then to 24, it went up $3 million. That is a substantial amount So it's not affecting him with his salary wise. It's not affecting any of these other talk show hosts unless they just no longer have the talk show. And if they no longer have the talk show, there's a good reason for that. The last thing I kind of want to point out is just the level of respect that one specific talk show host actually had in this video, and that's Conan O'Brien. The way Conan O'Brien reacted to the election, whether he, was on the right or whether he was on the left, the way he responded to, I guess, comparison to the others was it was respectful and it was definitely professional, right? For him to say that if you truly think that Trump was not a good, if you didn't think he was going to be a good pick in 2016, then you have the chance to get out there and vote again, right? But don't dwindle and don't dwell and just hide in a little corner because you're upset of an overall, election result. And that's one thing I really like compared to the others, because the others were just saying some really horrible things. I mean, Trevor Noah talked about coma patients, first off, by saying that if you're in a coma and you woke up in 2016 post-Trump election or post-Trump victory, then you might want to go back into your coma. Like, why is that an okay thing to say, right? Why is that fine? It's not. And Trevor Noah thought it was. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, feel free to subscribe. Also, feel free to like the video and feel free to turn on the post notification bell to stay up to date for new content. Also, let me know any of your thoughts or ideas in the comments below. And that's all I have for you. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.